Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SAS Cafe. I'm your host, Elliot Beckner, and today we welcome you to the first episode of our show. We have the pleasure of being joined by Armond Zarookian, the owner of Slash Pizza, located in the heart of Glendale, California. Armond is an interesting guest choice for our first episode because he's very open to trying new technology, anything that can get his local shop a competitive edge over his competition. Armond breaks down the trials and tribulations, what's worked, what hasn't worked, along with some of his history and backstory prior to getting into the restaurant business. It's an interesting one. Hope you enjoy. Thank you for listening. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Armond. Hello, Armond.
Hello.
And Armond is the owner of a local pizzeria called Slash Pizza in Glendale, California. Is that correct?
Yes.
And this is kind of a fun situation for us because back when we first started doing videos and testimonials, Armond was actually the first business that we filmed for. So it's kind of a funny little coincidence that you ended up being the first guest on our show today.
Yeah, my pleasure too.
Yeah, happy to have you here. Um, so can you tell us a little bit about your business?
Um, Again, the Slash Pizza was started back in 2011, but I took over the business toward the end of 2021. So it's been um, 3.5 years almost. I've been owner of Slash Pizza. It's been very challenging. It's a mix of emotions, and it's been a very challenging turnaround for me. Being a business owner, first time, or restaurant industry, first time, because of my background and everything. It's a kind of it's a funny, but also it's a very challenging. Um, yeah, I mean,
All right. Yeah, so from what I recall, you weren't actually a restaurateur. You didn't have any background. This is your first stint in the restaurant industry. So I was hoping maybe you can go into a little bit about what you were doing before and what led up to you purchasing Slash.
sure. So my background is engineering. I got my bachelor in industrial engineering back hometown, and I came to US 2010, and I graduated from CSUN. I got my master in engineering management. So I was with the corporations for almost 12 years. During COVID, I got laid off. When at the I was on the almost top position of the managing 35 employees, and I was doing okay, I thought. But then my first baby boy was born, and then COVID hit, and I got laid off. So all this thought came to me, what's gonna happen next? And I started applying for a lot of positions, but back then was very tough. And then I was almost unemployed for over a year. So I said it's enough. I should do something. So if next time COVID-20 or something else comes up, I don't
Right.
need to rely on corporations, and so I can decide my future. I can make my future the way I want it, and I buy back my freedom by being a business owner. So that's why I don't know. I always had a passion for food. Even from very early stage of my life, I was always loved to cook next to
Mhm.
my mom, and because I'm always hungry. So I decided the I don't know, even after this COVID, the situation gets tougher and tougher. I guess the safest way to step into as a business owner is a restaurant, casual restaurant like
Mhm.
pizzeria. Everyone gets pizza at least once a week, I guess. So that's why I started looking for a pizzeria, and I came to the point where I look into Slash Pizza. We end
Oh,
up buying the Slash Pizza.
so you specifically set out looking to buy a pizzeria?
Yes,
Oh, okay. So you came across Slash. Was the previous owner already looking to sell? You had to convince him? What
yes, it
was that
was.
like?
No, it was listed. It wasn't just. I'm sorry. It wasn't just pizzeria. I was looking for a casual restaurant, but mainly pizzeria. But even I look into some franchises. I studies the potential of investment, like Subway. I even looked few locations, but I decided to go with the local pizzeria slash pizza because I have more freedom to turn things around. Again, with experience with corporations and being limited, I said franchise wouldn't be a good fit for me. So I want to
Mm,
have kind of open space to move things around and do the way I want it. So that's why I end up buying Slash Pizza. But I never been a
interesting.
customer of Slash Pizza. I never even uh, tried their food before.
Did you try it before you bought it?
Yes,
And what'd you think the first time?
it was good.
Yeah?
So
What'd you eat? I'm curious.
everything you can see, top sellers: makhlut, Persian pizza,
So the
uh,
yeah, your popular
German
items
sausage,
basically, yeah.
bandari. Yes, I tried all those different from menu without telling them that I'm potential buyers. So I tried them and I liked it, and
Mhm.
then we put the numbers together. We came to agreement with the
Okay.
price. Yeah,
And you became a first-time restaurant owner.
yeah.
Nice. So I'm curious then, in the beginning, so you work out the deal. Um, at what point did the thought go through your head like, I can do this, I can run this place? What was the plan essentially in the early days?
The plan was to buy a business and become business owner, and I put my hands in my pocket and walk around and do nothing and make a lot of money. It didn't work that way, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know how many restaurant owners can say that. Um, maybe Starbucks can say that.
Probably.
Yeah. But to be fair, all these years Starbucks earned that, right? So, I don't know. Okay. So I mean, I guess you tried all the popular items, you liked it, you buy the business. Um, what tell me a little bit about the early stages. What was kind of some of the struggles, maybe with just day-to-day operations, employees, um, anything like that that kind of stands out from the beginning?
Sure. Let me start with this. I call myself, at least, I'm a risky person, but with some measurements and calculation and some logics, I'm always a risky person. And I believe life is short, so you gotta try different things. Again, from engineering to food industry, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Um, but then I always want to try different things because when I stop learning, that's the time I have to move on. As long as I see challenges every day and I see I have to improve myself and learn something to do better, then I'm motivated toward that. Once I stop learning, once I lose my motivation, or I see there is no room to more improvement, then I stop putting energy toward that and I move to something else. So when I bought the business, again, being in a corporation manager, I was managing a couple of $1 million. I was in charge of maintenance and tooling department. So the budgeting or managing the money or the cost or expense or reporting with the Excel sheet and all that, I don't think so. Most of chefs or restaurant owners even they think that way. I knew I'm okay with numbers, but then it was something new to me.
Mm.
So there was a lot of surprises um, um, at the beginning, but then again, at the very beginning, I thought it's gonna be super easy for me being a manager and running a company with many staff and budgeting. But then it comes to challenges where I almost forgot that I don't know the process. I don't know the process. When you don't know the process of any business, it becomes very challenging to understand the root cause of any issue. So I started learning, and the very first stage, maybe after 3 6 months, I felt on my skin that the customer's behavior is switching rapidly from calling, walking to the store, to go on an app and order from there. So that's the time that I thought a big change needs to happen.
And this was when? still during COVID, or when did you feel this shift?
No, no, it was after COVID. I mean,
Oh, like right after
I bought
COVID.
the business
Oh, that's
toward
right.
end of
Yes.
2021.
Excuse me.
Again, it's a lot of challenging because as soon as I bought the business, 2 months later, my second boy was born. So it was a mix of emotion and the business. It was a very stressful moment of my life, probably one of the highest stressful moment of my life. But again, I believe um, I can. I always challenge myself, and I believe I can make myself a better person um, for my family, for the business, for my colleagues when I'm under stress and challenges, because you always push for to become better. You always think something new. If you stay in your comfortable zone and do nothing, then you're gonna stay same for over year and year. That's the challenge. I mean, I always want to have a, again, sometimes not too much, but sometimes gets too much. It's out of your control. But then uh, I don't think so that the challenges or stress is all bad for you to become a better person.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely takes a bit of pressure, right, to evolve and grow. So I would absolutely understand that sentiment. Um, so you touched on changes in the customer that you felt happening right post COVID. Um, Maybe we jump into that a little bit as a nice little transition. So obviously, a lot of technology on the horizon. Um, and to be fair, I generally tend to argue nowadays that the business model for restaurants is already very different. With all the online presence you have to have, from branded websites to ordering to loyalty, and you have options for apps and all this kind of stuff. 9 million ways you can offer discounts and promotions. So basically, from COVID lockdown, that more or less solidified the change in my opinion. Customers got used to ordering online, and the average restaurant needs to have this presence whether they like it or not. Um, so I'm kind of curious. Obviously, you said you noticed a little bit of that change. Was it just less people walk through the door and called, or where did you first kind of spot that?
Yeah, I can give you an actual example. Previous owner had four lines, four landlines for
Oh,
customers to
phone
call.
calls. Yeah.
So um, Friday, Saturday, and in the afternoon, especially, there was time that four lines were ringing together. We never see such thing. I mean, as soon as I took over the business, like 3 months, 6 months later, I've seen not more than two lines ringing at the same time. So that's the time. And as soon as I took over the business, I saw the lag of the online presence. So that's the time, actually, at the very beginning we started. I believe I took over the business in November 2021, and I started working with Ordersco in December, like a month later. Um, Previous owner had working with different company for the online direct orders, but or even I believe even he didn't have Uber Eats, or it was very minimal. The only one was working was Grubhub for the previous owner, but then I saw there is nothing, no movements on the Uber Eats, DoorDash, or even direct online website orders. That's the time I started working on that with Orders.co.
Mm. That's got to be an interesting experience, going from just having your entire customer base shift on how they want to interact with your business. Um, that's pretty wild. Because I've seen there's a couple other restaurants that I even know of actually that don't have apps, online, anything, and they still have the four phone
There are
numbers.
still
Yeah,
restaurant competitions in my area
yeah.
that they don't have.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting too. So you full sent everything, right? Your all the delivery apps, ordering website, the works basically, right? And what was the initial experience like? Because this is kind of a point of contention that I ask almost every restaurant owner. Uh, it's unanimous. Almost every restaurant owner doesn't like apps.
Yes,
The
they
commission
don't.
rate, yeah, it's
But
completely
surprisingly, a lot of
understandable.
customers they don't know about it.
Yeah. So do you think that's what it go I guess my question overall would be, do you feel the apps are a necessity at this point, regardless of whether you want the bulk of your customers to come from them or not? As a restaurant owner, do you feel like it's necessary to have them?
It is.
Yeah,
It is necessary. Uh, because you have to work with all aspects of the business. You have to open your doors to all opportunities, um, because you can tell customers what to do. If they like Uber Eats, you can't change that. If they like to work with DoorDash, you cannot change that. So you got to work with them. Um, but at the same time, you have to improve your online presence, your Google listing, your website with all the nice pictures, all the improvements you can do to attract more customers and also switch customers from ordering from third party apps and switch them to your online website.
to direct, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the idea that I always have preached, and no matter how much effort or thought or research I put into arguing with some people in comments in various places, they're a little stubborn to the idea that delivery apps are, in my opinion, for a restaurant, one of the best marketing tools you have. Because in what world for any business do you get to advertise your business and still make money? If you wanted to advertise in any traditional metric, social media, newspaper, flyers, whatever, right? You're paying money up front. You get to see the results way later. You don't know what the turnaround is going to be, right? But even if you're only making, let's say, 5, 10% off of an Uber order, right? You're still getting a new customer potentially, and you're still making something back from it.
Yes and no. Again, yes, that's a very good strategy to introduce business to the new customer base, because essentially in my opinion, there are two ways to boost the business. One, to increase your customer base, meaning you bring new customers, new faces to your business, and number two, encourage existing customers to order more frequently. So again, all those third apps are very good to advertise, because you give away a little, you get a little back right away. You don't have to wait, as you just mentioned, that you do advertising. I did that too. I did mailers too a year and a half ago, but didn't get me a good result. But with the third party apps, you can spend a little, you get a little back, but you're hoping those customers are become your direct customers in near future. Otherwise, if they stay same, you're not gonna make too much profit out of off of that. Again, to me, third party apps are very very good tool for big corporations. At the very beginning of conversation, you mentioned Starbucks or In and Out or McDonald's, because they never had delivery. So this delivery feature is very convenient to customers, and especially during COVID, because it ramp up, so it boosts their sales. But for for small businesses, family-owned businesses, it's a very challenging and tough moment, because if you convert or you get more percentage of your customers ordered through third apps, it's cutting through your profit. Again, when you talk to all those third party app managers, they said, oh, imagine they don't treat the sales the way you treat your normal order. They said you already have your customers walk in or call in, so that should cover your overhead and cost of material and everything. All the new customers they send you are basically extra cash for you. But I said,
Yeah, but
if
then
the bottom line, if the baseline doesn't meet, if my existing orders, walk-ins or calls, they don't cover my baseline cost, my overhead, weekly overhead, then I cannot treat those third-party orders as the way they say.
yeah, it's
They,
not extra.
whoever
You
you
need it to
talk, they
be
say
more.
same thing, but
Yeah.
you can't treat that way.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, that's so part one is of my thing is view them as a way to collect new customers and advertise your business, and then part two is transition those customers to direct ordering, like you mentioned before. And at least in my mind, maybe you can add some extra context or insight. But at least in my mind, from a lot of stuff that I've read, because we've done a fair amount of research on all these things in the past, almost everyone seems, especially when it comes to small mom and pop businesses, they prefer to order direct. Some people kind of lazy, whatever, Uber, DoorDash, call it a day. But most people, knowing that you're ordering from an independent restaurant, will prefer to order direct if they have the opportunity. So if you have a website that's going to be, I don't know, 20, 30% cheaper, and you have delivery, all the same convenience that you would have from the apps, and on top of that, you have a loyalty program, at that point, that's more than enough incentive in my mind to order direct as opposed to through the apps outside of, maybe the random week that Uber's doing like a here's 30% off or something like that. But um in my mind, that is the logical transition, and I think customers would be more than happy to make that transition. Does that sound correct or?
Yes, whatever you mentioned, we've done together with orders.co, all that steps. Even at the very beginning, uh, almost 3 years ago when we talked together, um, from your team members, they keep saying improve your menu with pictures, all that. I mean, at that point, I was too much focused on internal processes. I couldn't think of other things. But then I came to a point where if I we keep saying, "Oh, I want a direct order. I want a direct order," but we don't do anything. If you want it as a restaurant owner, if you want direct orders, then we have to uh, compare apple to apple. I mean, we have to get to the next level of our website online ordering experience close to third party apps. Otherwise, you can expect customers to go to your direct website if you don't have delivery, if you don't have the convenience like the third apps they have. Um, Again, it's very challenging. At this point, still, I don't know even customers call. I mean, every chance I get with the customers, because I most of the customers I face to face go and talk to them because I wanted them to know us. I want to know them, so every opportunity I get, if customers even they order through third party apps and they come for pickup, I said, here's our menu. This is our website. Check it. I mean, it's the same thing. You order from there. If you want to support us, if you love our food, then order directly from us because we give away 30% to third party apps for nothing. And that's what it is. I mean, third party apps takes money from us, give a little portion to customer back, and customers in their mind, they think they're saving, but they're not saving because all the restaurants, including me, we do markup on third apps. We do markup, so all the prices on third apps are inflated compared to direct orders.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of what you have to do, right? If they're gonna charge you 30% commission, then the obvious answer is to mark it up, and the people who want to buy from there will pay the extra, and the people who, think that's egregious, well, there's a website where you don't have to pay that extra, right?
Sure. Plus, we give away back reward to them. We send them with orders.co. We do these promotions weekly on my website. We send them coupons, we send them discounts. I mean, different programs.
Yeah, I was actually curious to say, like, we've had that's been the main area of disconnect that I've personally noticed with a lot of restaurants. They sort of just get the website set up, they have all their apps, and they kind of just expect it to start magically working. They're not really trying very hard to tell their customers about the website, and they don't really seem like they care. Maybe that's not the right word, about the loyalty program side of things. They just sort of set it up during onboarding and expect it to work. And I'm just kind of curious, as from your perspective, like the kind of work it takes to really get that going, what customers' feedback was as far as transitioning over to the website and that.
again, it's very hard to direct contact customers that they used to order from third apps. You don't get the opportunity to or chance to talk to them directly. That this website. So all we've done, we attached a, receipt that shows the QR code on the bottom. Even I use these stickers on the pizza boxes where it shows our reward program. We put on it 5% reward, and we put the QR code that direct them to websites, hoping that they would check and they see the difference and they make the switch. It's not. I don't think so. Um, Business owners are they don't care about direct orders. It's just on a routine basis. We are so busy and focus on internal processes that sometimes even I myself I missed out that point to bring it up to customers or find a way to reach out to them and tell them, hey, if you love our food and you want to support us, you want us even become better in quality, all the spec, packaging, everything. So you need to order directly from us. So this way, business owner gets more profit, and obviously is going to put more money into the processes to make it better.
No, I mean, I think most people, even from as a customer perspective on all things, even if you don't necessarily care about the business in that way, you're going to care about paying 20+% less, right? It's going to be flat out cheaper regardless. So, um, but yeah, I do find it kind of interesting. I wonder, have you played
But
with a?
again,
Oh,
let me add something. We couldn't argue that. We couldn't say that 3 years ago that I couldn't expect or I couldn't tell customers go order from my website because we didn't have the this new feature that you guys added for AI dispatch delivery. We didn't have all the I didn't have all the pictures for all the items. I didn't have all those good stuff or good features on the website, so we couldn't tell them to go, or we said to go check and say, oh, this is not the way we want it, or this is not like other apps they offer. So we couldn't that, but at this point, after 3 years, we improved a lot. I changed like almost, I believe, I changed my pictures on my website like 3 times already, and I didn't miss out even the can of Coke. I put a picture next to it. Every single item, we put a picture on it so it present what they're getting. Again, it's not professional. I don't. I believe even as small as my business is, and I just want customers to feel that I'm not doing Photoshop on my pictures. I'm not doing anything uh, different. It's just actual food they're gonna get.
yeah, I mean it's kind of a counterintuitive thought. They obviously a lot of times in restaurants, you walk in, you sit down, it's a nice place. You see pictures on the menu, and it's kind of a taboo thing. You don't if a restaurant doesn't have photos on their menu, it's considered to like be a certain level of quality, right? You don't need to see a picture. Everything is going to be good, right? But when it comes to online, like people want to see what they're getting. You especially there's a huge thing in psychology of menus where if and I'm sure you can probably understand the idea. It's very common. You look through a menu, you 5, 6 items, you don't know what it is. Maybe you go to Thai place or something, you don't know what that is. You're not going to order it because you don't know what it is, right? But then imagine it has a picture. Oh, you see it's a chicken dish or something.
Yeah,
Maybe
especially
you
for
would try it.
online. Especially
Yeah.
for online. I mean, if someone walks to the store, they're gonna ask, "Oh, what this food has in it, or what is the recipe, what ingredients they have." They can see it. But then for online, I mean, there are people nowadays are in rush. They're even even I put the full description of my every single item, every single pizza or sandwich. I put exact recipe or ingredient that goes into that. Uh, but a lot of places you look at their menu, they don't even have the description. But they don't have time to even read that description. They see the picture and they see what they're getting, and is they look good to them and they're hungry. That makes them
Yeah.
even more hungry, so they can order.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like reverse of the situation with the traditional menus. So, but that it's you'd be surprised how many people nowadays just still don't have photos, still don't have decent descriptions. I'm surprised the delivery apps haven't been required to do like calorie content and stuff yet. That's I think Uber is the only one that even allows them to, but, I don't know. It's strange, and there's definitely it's been a grueling learning process. But that's part of why I was excited to have you because you've kind of gone over that hill and come out the other side. And at least from what I read a lot, and some of the restaurants I've spoken with, they're still stuck at the I hate delivery apps. I don't want to use them. Which I mean, in a perfect world,
Again,
we'd go
I
back,
guess
but
um, if we manage third party apps as a business owner, a tool to increase sales in a point of bringing new faces, new customer base, it's all good because sometimes based on your staff or your limitations, I mean, even if I have like double, if I double even my staff during those rush, those busy time, especially on the weekend night, I mean, there is no way you can you can deliver all those foods to your customers in a timely manner. So that's time that the third apps comes in place where it actually helps you in a way to get to the customers. Again, let's put the profit aside, but at the end of the day you want to get the your food uh, with the good quality and on time to your customers hands,
right.
because maybe those customers are coming to the store, order once, but the next day they're at home, they can't leave the home or whatever, they have party or something, they want to order and they want a delivery. And if they call me, I'm gonna say, okay, we are busy, it's gonna take us like 1 hour to get to you, so it's okay to go order three third apps because you're not losing that customer in a
Yeah.
way.
So, and lose the business or maybe make a little less and be able to service more. That kind of idea. So that's kind of interesting. So this I wanted to ask you a little bit too. So from the perspective of an independent restaurant, have you seen some of the new restaurant technology that a lot of the bigger companies are sort of dabbling with? Um, the the robots cooking, the waiters, the different AI ordering stuff, like the you go through the drive-through, you're not talking to a human, it's actually like a robot
Yeah, I don't know.
taking your order.
It's concerning. I haven't done so much study or watching uh, s- uh, f- those topics or videos or something, but it's somehow frustrating and somehow exciting. But again, as a small business owner, again, I know in the upcoming years there's going to be big change. So we have
Yeah.
to be ready for it.
Because as when I was writing this point down to talk with you, I was trying to see, is there any of these kind of new solutions that are being tested and played with by big companies that an independent restaurant would really be curious in? And I think there's only really two that stand out off the top of my head. So the first one, which we've seen a few times actually in person, is the little server robots. Basically, it has the layout of the restaurant, and like scanned. You have table numbers. You basically just put the food on it and then tap which table to go to, and then it just drives out there, brings it, and the customer takes their food and then brings it back. And you can also use it as like a busboy or something. A waitress puts the dishes on it and then it just drives back to the kitchen or something, just so you don't have to carry all that stuff. Which that one, okay, I can see. Maybe not for like pizza business, you wouldn't want one of those, but I could see like sit down restaurant liking that kind of thing. But the other one I thought was kind of interesting was, so I mentioned the AI drive-through voice, but they also have tested that for phone ordering. So instead of you having to answer the phone yourself, it's an AI bot that does the phone ordering. And I know like we've Orders is testing that kind of thing too. We have a little bit of that in the works as well. What do you think about that one?
I believe in next a year or two we have to switch to that.
Yeah. So you don't have to answer the phone.
Probably.
The order just appears on the tablet.
Yeah.
It will be nice, huh?
Even nowadays, I mean, we basically half of the phone calls are gone, even more, if not more, just because of third apps. Again, I don't want to back up third apps. It's not like I like them, but I like to work with them because in a way, it's a lot of small business owners. They don't have to have a front desk staff because of the phone calls are gone. Everything goes online. You click on the tablet, so you don't. So kind of, we can justify that commission we give away to third apps instead of paying staff. But again, sometimes that combination doesn't go well. If it's compare your direct orders to third apps is less, then it doesn't work.
Right. Makes sense. Hmm. I was curious then, before we move on from the new technology subject, looking back, was there one specific tech solution that you implemented that made an overwhelming impact on your business? I mean, you might just say partnering with orders, but there one specific feature in general that kind of made a big improvement?
I guess the delivery. Previously, we didn't have or it was a lot of flaws or issues with the if with my direct orders. I was delivering, my staff were delivering. When that delivery feature is removed from my shoulders, it gives me a lot of break, and it gives me more open time for my staff to work in the kitchen to keep up with the orders.
I see. So the AI dispatch
Yes.
feature on the website. Gotcha.
Previously, we had to select which one to go with, but there was some issues. Now with this AI dispatch, on top of that, this tracking system you guys implemented, like what, maybe a couple months now.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
pretty new still, yeah.
yeah, so we can, because previously they were calling us customers and say, where is my food? We said driver took it, but we couldn't track it. But now they call it, click on that details and they see where is he at or something. I don't know. Even customers, they receive a text message, they can see the tracking, but still they call you. I mean, there's a lot of stories I can tell you that you can't imagine customers what they ask, but you got to be patient and work with them.
It's funny as we talk about restaurateurs having to adapt and grow and all this new technology, but customers are there's some people that are still behind too. Even if they're the ones technically leading the change. Yeah, there's still some people that it's new to.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, there are still customers they call and they say delivery. We say delivery's gonna take longer, or let's say I don't have a driver right now. Please go and order from our website and all that. And they surprised. How come you don't have delivery? Because nowadays small businesses, as it tough as get right now with the economy situation, all that, um, we can't afford to have a full time driver because there are drivers outside sitting idle, so it's a very smart way of utilizing those resources without having a staff on your hand that you don't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
So you use those DoorDash, Uber Eats, other company drivers to deliver your food in a more efficient way, in a faster way. Because if I even have two drivers, if I get uh, 10 orders in 20 minutes, how can I deliver those on time? There is no way. But using this feature, you can, because for every single order, one driver comes.
Yeah.
It's easier to manage, it's more efficient. In a timely manner, we can get to customers. We try to explain this, but it gets sometimes very hard when customers, they don't, sometimes it's, I guess they just don't care uh, what you tell them, but I guess this is a lot of work needs to be done by small business owner to increase awareness for customers to understand if they don't support small businesses by ordering directly or going on online to order, w- it's going to be very tough for small business to survive nowadays.
Well, I also think it's kind of interesting to highlight too the fact that there are still a lot of businesses that just don't use any kind of delivery, whether it be apps, website,
I know
anything.
when it comes to pizzeria, Delivery is a big issue.
That's the thing, right? So being in pizza specifically, like delivery is sort of in the DNA of that business. It's been the old one of the oldest delivery. I think it's Chinese food first and then pizza second. It's yeah, it goes back a long way. But I mean, even still, like just the standard, like a local taco place or something, like there's still businesses in the area that don't do any online whatsoever. And maybe 5, 6 years ago, you were super big, exploding. I can actually think of one super popular place locally in North Hollywood that has like 4 locations and a very popular place. Cannot order online at all. You physically have to go to the store. You can call and go pick up, but they don't do any online, whatever. 4 locations. And they recently raised their prices and all this kind of stuff to charge more because they were very cheap and the restaurants were packed every day, but still no online. And this was one of my personal favorite spots, but I don't really want to go there to eat all the time. Sometimes I just, oh, I really like to get, that burrito or something like that, right? I'm not going to eat it if I have to go,
I know it,
if I
it
don't want to
gets
leave,
tougher.
right?
They're gonna lose business no matter what. I mean, it's just a matter of time. If you don't switch to online, you don't adopt these new technologies, you don't integrate your menu where you can manage in one place and all that, you're gonna lose business at the end of the day. It's gonna be tougher and tougher.
It's just I don't know. I mean, I haven't been there in a long time. Maybe I'll drag the wife out one day and we'll go see how they're doing more so rather than just to eat the food because my burrito used to be like $14 and I think now it's like 23 or something like that. I mean, I know inflation's crazy, but that's like double. It's ridiculous. But just to kind of pop in and see how they're doing cuz still to this day, no apps, no
I
website,
know it gets
no
very
nothing.
tougher. I mean, even I have changed my pricing for over a year now for 90% of my menu, but nowadays people are asking more about the pricing, and I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand. I feel that I have a family too. I have to feed. I have two toddlers, so I know cost of living is higher and higher nowadays, and that's the reason to stay in the business and being competitive. I haven't changed my pricing, but at the same time, I increase uh, the quality by using a better packaging. We're putting stickers to make it safer. So during the delivery, especially third apps, is not gonna fall or something. Is not gonna. It's safer because there's a lot of complaints, right? In the back in days
Yeah.
where drivers are taking a piece or something from packages and all that. So we seal it down. We seal the boxes. We I've done a lot of things. I mean, I can't even remember to mention, but uh, as far as the equipment in the kitchen, we increase. I changed them so it's more efficient. It's cleaner. Uh, but we haven't increased our pricing. So I hope by doing all these things, it's just gonna bring me more customers. So it's gonna kind of uh, break it down, my cost or all the investments I put in there. It's just a matter of number of orders because if you don't hit your minimum number of orders, then there is no profit. People think that I buy one pizza, oh it's $30, so the owner makes uh this much, but it's
The
not the way.
customers don't know. Yeah, that's oh, this is actually it brings me back to a question from the beginning. It just reminded me there. Um, when you first bought Slash, so you had that transition. You're talking about customers not understanding from the restaurant's perspective. So you basically got to go through that
Yeah,
from just a customer to the restaurant owner. Um, I'm kind of curious as to what that jump was like. Like, was there any glass shattering moments where you realized, like, oh, I thought completely wrong about restaurants and that kind
yeah.
of thing?
I mean, I thought it's a super easy to be a business owner, a restaurant. Everything is super smooth. Everything should be very easy to handle, but then it's very challenging. But also, from instead of being a customer, but now you're a business owner, you learn a lot of things. Of course, I correct myself many times because I had the wrong ideas or opinions or thoughts about the business, especially in food industry and pizzeria. So I correct myself, my thoughts, and then I try to transfer that uh, corrections to my customers too, so they would understand that too. So a lot of people understand. A lot of customers, when I talk to them, they understand uh, the situation, or why the cost is this high and all that. But again, at the end of the day, it's just hard for everyone nowadays, because cost gone up,
Yeah,
and there's like you cannot go
everything is
back.
expensive. Yeah, totally understand. I guess one more thing before we kind of move on. How would you draw the line, I guess, between a price increase to offset your costs versus price increases that maintain margins? What's the balance look like there? Because I see a lot of restaurant owners go and be like, "Oh, my salami went up $1, so I'm going to increase the price of all these sandwiches, I don't know, 25 cents or something," right? Versus, um, "Oh, I'm making 10% less because everything went up, so I'm just going to raise my prices 10%." Like, I don't know if you understand the distinction I'm making. Whereas it's offsetting price increases versus just trying to maintain their margins. Because
I
sorry, I
I know.
swear I see restaurant owners that are like, I'm making this much, and they just raise their prices consistently to keep making the exact same amount. And sometimes it feels egregious, where it's like you'll just see something like a $4 increase on a singular menu item. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, there's no way your cost of ingredient went up that much unless you switch to much higher quality food, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know, maybe you can enlighten me a
I
little.
guess even business owners, they need to understand that they cannot make the profit they were making 5 years ago, and they can still make the same profit from the same item menu today. There is no way. If you do that, you're gonna get out of the game. Because if you want to stay competitive, especially for small business owners, because if you look at the big franchises, they haven't gone up that high. Even the price gone up, but you need to stay in a competition. Uh, my all hope was to increase the volume. Once you increase the volume of the orders, that cost per item is going to go down, rather than you think, if this bread gone up this much, I'm going to increase this much, or if this beef gone up this much, I'm going to increase this much. You have to combine all together, and understand the market and your competitive. I do price analysis 2 3 times a year with my competitives. So that's why I stay in competition, because first thing people nowadays they see, especially online, or they call, what they look at the price. Especially nowadays, price is very sensitive. So we need to understand that people are more looking for budget friendly. They have to shrink their cost to be able to make the living, right? So that's the reason. Also, a year ago, I changed the layout of my kitchen. I put a lot of investment into that, and I changed the layout so it be more open space, and I shoot for high volume back then. But I couldn't get to that high volume I was planning through regular orders, third apps, or walks in. So that's why I started the catering business, which is completely new things to for slash pizza. I'd never done it before, because I've seen the orders is going down, 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 down. So what can I do? I have to open a new door. I have to look for new opportunities. So that's why I went for catering. So once this catering kicked in, I was able to balance the cost. Back to your point, because I'm already doing a high volume orders for catering. So so I treat my all orders all together. I don't look at one order for this customer, one pizza, or because I balance out, right? I trade off. It's a trade off where you see all these many pizzas I get out, all the sandwiches get out. So the cost percentage, how much is it?
Hmm.
So that's the way you make the
Bigger
profit.
picture, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I invested. I went for high volume and I started catering, and I work with a couple of companies today from a year from now, and it's been very successful. It's catering. I mean, if you asked me 2 3 years ago, are you willing to go to your pizzeria like 7 a.m. to make 40 pizzas by 10 a.m.? I would say hell no. I don't want to do that. My business hours is 11 to 9, 11 to 10.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't do that. Never, ever.
Mhm.
But because I saw the trend, so in order to change that, in order to get ahead of the game, you have to do something new. So I started looking for out of the box, and that's why I bring in the catering.
Yeah, the catering has actually been a bit on an uptick. A lot more restaurants are starting to incorporate it now, so sounds like it's been a welcome addition for you. So I'm glad to hear that that's working out. I actually haven't heard of. Is it your? Did you make a separate menu or is it same
It's a
menu?
separate catering menu. It's
Separate
separate
catering.
packages.
Oh, see, okay,
I mean, I've seen a lot of other businesses. I've done some analysis, some study before even establish the menu with you guys on catering because we have different link for
yeah,
catering. If they go to my menu, they would see there is a icon for catering, so it brings up completely different menu. Because if it's catering, it has to be set as a catering. I don't offer individual pizza. I mean, I put individual pizza for a reason, but then mainly are offered by packages for sandwich, for pizza,
yeah.
pasta.
You want this package? You can add on this
Yeah,
pizza
and
if
then
you
so this
want.
is
Yeah,
for this group of this many people. So it makes it easier for that manager, for that I don't know office, whoever is gonna be in charge of ordering. It's gonna be easy for it to manage and navigate through the to order to know how much to order.
right. Makes sense. Okay. So we were kind of touching on this a little bit before. I kind of want to swing back because the competition of it all is a very interesting topic in my eyes for the independent business and being in pizza. You know, you have a lot of big names floating around in that space. Um, so I guess we'll start with some of your menu because I know you have some very unique menu items that I mean, if I'm being completely honest, outside of your restaurant, I can't really even think of too many other places where you can even get a maklut or some of these kind of Persian pizzas. So I'm curious is obviously those were your most popular items from the get-go when you purchased the business. They're still your most popular items?
Yes.
And I mean, is that obviously that's something unique that sort of sets you apart, but I guess customer feedback wise, what have those menu items really done for the business since you purchased it?
So it's a those top sellers are basically bread and butter. It's for my community that they know that food. It's bring them childhood, the way they be having those type of meals back home. So we still keep the same thing. I didn't touch it. I didn't change it because I believe it's a core or the niche market of my business. But then in order to um, increase or boost the business, I improved and I added some other items to my menu to bring or make it more catchy to the eyes of outside my community. But still, there's a lot of people that are from out of communities uh, that they come and buy those top sellers, and they see, wow, this is something new, something different. I don't know. I have customers they eat my pizza. They said, "Oh, it's New York style." I said, "I don't. I mean, I don't claim that. But if you think so, then it's okay." Some people they said it's the best Persian food. Some people say it's the best Armenian food. I don't know. It's I guess I try to be more flexible and as far as the menu, I couldn't change that core. I don't want to change that core part of the menu, but I did different things. I added different things. I see that doesn't work, so I removed it. Uh, it's like I have the same root, same tree, but I just kind of trimmed it the branches based on the customers' feedback and
Okay. Yeah, you can call it whatever you want, but as long as you like it and keep coming back, it doesn't matter, right? Um, okay. So then I guess when it comes to the big names in the market, I'm curious, let's just to start, how much do you feel the pressure from a Domino's, from a Pizza Hut, or any of these other kind of places?
I guess nowadays is more because back to the point where people are more budget friendly nowadays, so they're looking for cheaper items. Again, there are some you have to distinguish. Some customers are doesn't matter the price; they want this food.
Yeah.
It's good. They love it. They're gonna buy it no matter what. But there are also different group of customers. We need to understand them too. If it's a tough time for them, they would go for a more budget friendly options. So that's the time where I guess it becomes more challenging to compete with those. I cannot match my price with them, obviously, uh, but it's it's I don't know how to say that, but uh, we're different. When you're different, you have different customers that they come to you rather than go to those big names because a lot of people they don't want or they tried it they don't like those food they something looking for something new or they want to support small businesses. There are different reasons people would come to the small or local pizzeria rather than going to big names. Mainly is the quality, could be the customer service, but if you compare the price, obviously you can match the price with them.
Yeah, if you're only going out trying to get, you know, a $6 pizza to feed you and your family, then yeah, that's not gonna be the customer looking at your business. Makes sense. I guess I was curious, just kind of because you see regularly a lot of the big names adding all kinds of new promotions, new menu items, limited time, this and that. I guess I was curious if you pay attention to those, and when something new like that comes out, like, do you feel that on a day to day, or is it not necessarily affect the business that much?
I don't focus too much on those big names, honestly. I focus on more of the local
Competitors? I
competitors,
see.
and I compare the pricing. I compare their menu items. I compare their hours of operations, all that kind of stuff, because I can I can focus on that because I have no control over that.
Yeah. I guess I was just kind of curious with pizza specifically, like Domino's comes back and does the 3 mediums for $5 each. Are you sitting, oh,
But again, you have to also a lot of as every time I get a chance, I explain that to customers that because they call it medium pizza, but it's different size than my medium pizza,
Yeah,
so they don't pay attention to that, or even the amount of the cheese or toppings. I have a lot of customers they call and say, "Make it easy, this because you guys
they
put
want
too
less,
much."
yeah.
I never stingy about the toppings. As much as I surface I get, I put toppings on it.
Yeah. That's an interesting thing because that's not something people would know unless they actually try it,
Yes.
your food. So, I'm just saying, oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I'm actually a little surprised, if I'm gonna be honest, about some of those answers. I imagined something very different, but so that's actually, I'm happy to hear that.
So, have you ever tried my pizza?
Yeah,
I mean,
what
I know you guys
we
order all the
we
time
we
for your office, but
we ate, we ate quite a lot, the year that we filmed with you. Obviously all the food we had then, and then, I ordered with my wife a few times. We haven't actually had pizza in a really long time though.
what did you try then?
She wouldn't my wife didn't want the maklu. We just I think we got a meat lovers the last time, and that was pretty good. But I don't know, she's very picky with pizza, if I'm
I
gonna be
see.
honest. There's a specific style, thin crust, all this kind of stuff that she wants, And to be honest, I crave pizza more than she does. So I usually just don't get to eat it when I want it. And when she does, she has her place that she likes. So it is what it is. But I don't know. We were talking about that. I was saying to Arsen, we should order from you. Maybe this Friday we'll do it. Um, let's see. Okay, so we covered all that. I guess we can kind of start wrapping up a little bit here. Um, let's do the future. Slash, what's Slash's future look like? Any exciting plans? Anything on the horizon you've been thinking about? Um, expanding, new menu tweaks.
Um, Actually, I'm in the process of doing that. Every year, beginning of the year, I do some analyses by end of the first quarter. I decide what changes I'm gonna do. So I give myself until end of March to make the changes for this year. Uh, any kind of expansion. At this point, I'm not looking or for another location or anything like that. I want to focus on the same location because if I open another location, I'm gonna lose my focus. It was an opportunity for me to buy another location a couple months back, but I kind of think through it and I decided not to go that direction because if I lose my attention to one location, then it's going to be more of the franchise. Then your quality might go down. Um, Again, I cannot split myself in two places at the same time. So that's why I want to just focus on one location and max out and then learn as much as I can do and try all the different things and maybe later, maybe a couple of years down the road, I would go for a different location. But I guess more of my focus this year is catering because as soon as I opened this new avenue uh, or since a year ago, so I felt that this is something I have to put focus more on it. Um, so that's why even I started new companies. But future to me right now is unknown. Back to your point, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try different tools. Uh, could be advertising. Could be new items on the menu. I don't know, different technology. Maybe as soon as you guys release the POS, I'll get that POS. Um,
That is coming as soon as they
because that's
finish.
gonna
Yeah.
be. I just got a demo before we get to this interview, and I mean, I love the screen, all aspect of it. We talked about a few times with your team about. I gave them feedback and all that, so I guess this is gonna be makes it much more easier for me and my team. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of ideas, opinion, but I don't, I don't believe on big changes. I believe in small changes every day. When you sum up all that, then it becomes a big change over a year. Because I have to keep up with those changes. If I do big changes or I go big with advertising, I might not get the result I want. So that's why I just want to gradually, little by little, make changes and see the feedback and then go for next.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Definitely think. I guess there's two main questions I want to hit, and then we'll head on to the fun little speed topics to finish. Yeah.
Sure.
Um. So kind of two things. I think I'm gonna do one first. Um. Looking back, as far as where you are, where you started, um, what's one thing that you feel like you did really well with your restaurant? And what's one thing that you feel you could have done better?
Tough question. I guess as far as the integrating the menu and bringing new technology, uh, I've done very well because the result shown that we didn't have maybe one order a week for online ordering at the beginning of the I took over the business, but now we can look at how many orders I get. It's a lot. It's a lot of change. Um, but one thing I probably kind of regret, or I think I should put more focus on it, is the, I guess, social media. I'm not very active. I don't
Yeah.
have time.
Yeah. It's that's to be fair, that's an area I think most restaurant owners, certainly if they're running the business themselves, probably could do a lot better in. But I mean, influencers exist for a reason.
Yeah,
There's people that you can have come through and do it for you, you know? Especially local ones. They don't charge that much, you know? Few thousand followers, couple $100.
sure.
They come do it all. You just repost their stuff. Especially now Instagram lets you repost someone else's content, like just flat out on your page. You don't have to download it or anything. You can just, yeah, they make it really easy for
Sure.
that kind of stuff. So there are options at least, but I don't think you're alone in that boat. There's a lot. That's a very common issue. So, and I guess the last thing to finish up before we do the speed run questions would be looking to other restaurant owners that might be struggling with the technology, the changes. Maybe they've been doing it for a very long time. They don't understand all this stuff. Their kids don't want to take up the business and help them with that. I don't know. Do you have any advice for them?
I mean, not advice, just the opinion. I guess we all need to adopt and change. I mean, uh, the life is changing. It's a moment not to pause and think about the past. You have to think about the future and take steps with this all the AI, all this kind of news, all the things you mentioned earlier. Um, Again, I'm not even familiar with too much of AI and all that, so I have to even study myself and improve that aspect, because I know in near future I have to change too. But again, if you don't have any online presence, you don't adopt all these new technologies, menu integration, then I just don't know how someone can handle the business without having those features. If you go with the old fashioned way of accepting orders, or you have multiple tablets, if you want to just one day you want to change your time, you have to go to all those things to change it. I mean, again, to me, is like, I guess, impossible. If you don't switch, it's impossible to handle all those tasks and manage a business.
Yeah. Yeah, times have changed. So, okay. All right. Well, let's finish up here with some of these. Now, this obviously these are 100% your opinions, okay? I don't think this or that, what people like. I would just what you think, how you feel, that kind of stuff, right? So, I kind of teased this one a little bit before we started, but pineapple, does it belong on pizza?
Yes,
Yes, you like it?
I don't like it,
So
but I
then how do you
think
say yes?
because I know a lot of people like it.
Oh yeah, but okay. See, this it's actually good we started with this one, okay? Because this is not we're breaking the rules now, okay?
Okay.
So I do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
No.
Okay, there we go.
Mm,
You don't like it?
no,
How many ways have you tried?
not many.
Not many. You tried once, didn't like it. That's
Yeah.
it. Okay. But how a lot of people order this?
Yes, I get a lot of Hawaiian
Surprising.
pizza.
I that actually this as a pineapple on pizza lover myself, that's not even the best way, if I'm being honest. You need a thin crust, pineapple, pepperoni, jalapeno.
Oh.
You get spicy, salty, sweet with the crunch.
Oh, actually, I had that one. I added one item on my menu. I call it sweet and spicy, add the same combination: pepperoni, jalapeno, pineapple, and onion with the pizza sauce and barbecue sauce. I mean, it didn't work for me, so I removed from menu.
No barbecue sauce,
No barbecue.
no onion.
I see.
Just remove those two. I don't know how popular it is, but every time I've introduced that pizza thin crust to somebody, they always said, as non-pineapple lovers, they always said this works.
Okay, I'll
I
try
don't know that
myself.
they ordered it or anything, but ever again after that moment. But people that would pick pineapple off of a pizza
Yeah, I'm not
to
saying
eat
I
it,
hate that
they
pineapple on
would
the pizza. I'm just
they
saying
would eat that though. So
if I want to eat pizza, I'm not gonna get the pizza pineapple on it.
okay, makes sense. Okay, next one is a hot dog a sandwich.
Yes,
I think you're the only one that's agreed with me on that. But wait, it's a bread
it is makes a
with the meat in the
sandwich.
middle. How does it any different?
None.
You can have a sausage sandwich, right? Your German sausage sandwich. That's a
Yeah, I
sandwich.
actually love customers. They call and say, "You want to order hot dog sandwich?" They call it hot dog sandwich. I don't know why, but
I
they.
would tell them to get out. You can't have one. Okay. You have tray of brownies, some kind of baked good, could be baklava, whatever. Do you get the edge or the center?
Mm, edges,
Edges. Very common answer. Chicken wings, drums or flats?
flats,
A man of taste. I like it. I like it. Ranch or blue cheese?
ranch.
Absolutely. See, we can be friends, Armand.
Yeah,
Um, Pronunciation. This is just kind of a fun one I throw in. Is it caramel or caramel?
caramel.
Okay. uh, Milk first or cereal first?
Cereal first.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I need to take this one off. This is just a stupid internet question. I don't really think people exist who put milk first. I think that's just a meme on the internet, and nobody does that. This is kind of a question for Aaron because he's a freak. Does ketchup belong on everything?
Yes,
Really? He puts ketchup on pizza.
yes. I
That's
put that too.
no. Okay, you guys can go have a
My wife
coffee
too.
later.
My wife put ketchup on
That's
everything.
egregious. I can't. As an Italian American, I can't. Um, what is the right way to cook a steak?
Right way cook a steak.
Doneness. Medium, well done.
Oh,
Yeah,
I go with well done.
well done. We started so good, Norma. And
But
what happened? What happened?
I don't know.
Why?
We can still be friends.
The right answer is medium rare. I would accept medium. That's fine. What happened?
I don't know. I felt like well done right now.
What just I mean, you go to a nice restaurant, you're gonna spend $50 on a steak. You order well done?
Most of the time because they have kids next to me.
Uh, I guess that's true. I'm a little sad, I'm gonna be honest. All right. Um, chewy or crispy for
Crispy.
cookies?
Say again,
For
sorry.
cookies? Chewy, crispy? Same
Chewy,
answer?
sorry, chewy.
Chewy on cookies? Okay. And then this one's kind of for me, especially some weird stuff I did as a kid. Um, what is the more exciting part of bread to you? Like fresh French roll, the crust, or the fluffy center?
Crust.
Crust. Yeah. My mom would buy a bread. I would go pull the middle out and leave it.
Oh,
So then next day she goes to make sandwiches.
I see.
There's a big hole. She make me eat the crust as my punishment. Yeah, I didn't like it that much. So yeah, that's basically it. So, all right, everyone, that's going to wrap it up today. Once again, thank you, Armand, for
Thank
coming
you.
through. If you are in the greater LA area and you'd like to check out Slash Pizza, look them up in Glendale. Delicious food, great prices, family owned and operated. Check them out. Anything you'd like to say before we wrap up?
No, just thank you for your time. I hope whoever watched this enjoyed. At least they know there's a pizzeria in Glendale exists slash pizza. And I promise, if you try once, then you will be addicted to the food I offer. And I just good luck to all
Uh,
the business owners.
Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you again, Armand.
Thank you.
Yeah.